Hello children, welcome to our class of the continuation of force and laws of motion. Now we can see the second law of motion. See, we want the second law of motion, we have to recall the first law, which indicates that when an unbalanced external force which is act on an object, its velocity changes. That is, the object which gets an acceleration. See, we would now like to study how the acceleration of an object depends on the force applied and how we measure a force. See, let us recount some observations which is given in the picture. During the game of table tennis, if the ball hits a player, it does not hurt him. See, on the other hand, when a fast moving cricket ball hits a spectator, it may hurt him, right? See, one more example, a truck at rest. It does not require any attention when if suppose it's parked along a roadside. But suppose it is moving even a speed of very low, it may kill a person, or like some accidents, if suppose opposite side a car comes. By understanding through these examples, we can say the impact that produced by the objects depend on their mass and as well as the velocity, right? Similarly, we can say if an object is to be accelerated, we know that a greater force is required to give a greater velocity, right? See that with the explanation of law of momentum, we can call the second law as a law of momentum. The rate of change of linear momentum is equal to the force applied to the direction of force is always in the direction of change in momentum. That means F, which is equal to dmv by dt, right? M we can take it out, dv by dt, that means change in velocity. So that we have written F, which is equal to ma. How it comes, we can see with the help of the mathematical formulation of the second law of motion. See, the change in momentum, which is nothing but directly proportional to P2 minus P1, which is P2 or P1, which is called and denoted by the letter P, is momentum. The change in momentum, we can say also is directly proportional to mv minus mu. And m we can take it out, v minus u. So the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to m into v minus u by t. So we can say our applied force F is directly proportional to m into v minus u by t. So F is equal to k into m v minus u by t. So we can say F, which is equal to kma. So if suppose the proportionality constant, which is k, becomes 1, F is equal to ma, right? See some examples or some applications of Newton's second law of motion. See, you may see that a cricket player pulls his hand gradually while holding a catch of ball. You may think why? See, to catch a fast cricket ball, he pulls his hand backward to prevent first injury to his hand. See, by doing this, the player, which increases the time during which high velocity of cricket ball reduces to 0. Then the acceleration of the ball is what? A, which is equal to v minus u by t. That will be decreased. So therefore, the impact of catching the fast ball is reduced, so that the player has to apply a smaller force against the ball in order to stop it, right? Like that we have a different examples like high jump, the athlete event, which during the high jump, the player, understand? So while the high jump, the player may use a cushion bed or a sand bed to avoid the injury. So these are all will reduce the momentum, right? Next one is how the first law can be deduced from the law of second. That means Newton's second law. See, according to Newton's second law of motion, we know that F which is equal to ma, a which is nothing but v minus u by t. So m into v minus u by t. So F into t, which is come left hand side the t, F into t, which is equal to mv minus mu. Can we write? Yes. When no external force which is applied, that means what? The F is equal to 0. Then what will happen to that? mv minus mu, which is equal to 0. Then mv, which is equal to mu. So v, which is equal to u. So it means the body will continue to move with the same uniform velocity u throughout the time t. When no external force is applied on the body, if the body is initially at rest, it will continue to be at rest when no external force is applied on the body. So this only will show us by first law of motion, right? So by that way, we can connect or deduce the Newton's first law of motion from second law of motion. Understand, children? Yes. Thank you, students.